Elon Musk is apparently panicking as Europe is saying they don't want Teslas anymore. Tesla sales are nosediving, and it's looking bad for Elon.
I'm very curious to hear about this because even in the US, at least the left, maybe this is more like a far left thing, an LA exclusive thing, but I've heard where people like are trying to boycott Tesla and they're trying to be like, oh, I don't like Tesla anymore. So Europe, hmm?
I would say that the thing with Elon Musk, which was so stupid, I don't know what he was thinking. This whole time when he was building up Tesla, he was talking about climate change and talking about, oh, this is going to help against climate change and help the
Mm-hmm.
environment. And the people that care about that and would want to go out and buy electric cars are liberals. And then suddenly he just flips the scripts and he turns into a fascist basically out of nowhere. And he's like, actually, guys, I don't care about the environment anymore. Let's cut spending on everything. What does he think's gonna happen?
Interesting thing to note, I just learned that, like, when he was in office and he cut all these programs and stuff, one of the programs he cut was the exact program that would have regulated his AI center he built in Memphis, which is now polluting the
Convenient.
city. And he cut the program that would regulate that, and now, like, a lot of the people there are worried about the city getting polluted, like the air quality and stuff like that. And that's like the whole thing he built his image off of, was being like, oh, electric
Yeah.
cars, wow, good.
So it doesn't. It makes sense that his fans before would have been liberal people because he made an image off of climate activism, and then he just totally turned on that. He also, by the way, cut OSHA, which is the Workers Protection Agency, and like making sure like businesses like do business ethically, and he also cut things out of that were affecting his business, by the way.
Because the government can't spend money.
No, and they can't regulate capitalism. Come on, it's free market, laissez-faire. Let's go. All right, let's see what they're going to be saying about this.
Elon Musk has backed away from his public-facing role, destroying the U.S. government.
Should we also mention that the president of the United States did a car show for Tesla? That was pretty bonkers.
If he thought that that was going to save Tesla, at least in Europe, it doesn't seem like that's going to work, because Tesla sold about 7,260 cars in Europe in April. That is down 49% year on year,
Oh,
according to the European Automobile Manufacturers Association. Overall, January to April year on year, they're down 40%. So it looks like it's actually getting worse as time goes on. That is a big drop. Now, Musk responded to that, saying European sales declines were true of all manufacturers. So get all the way off my back. This isn't about me. This isn't about Tesla. But about that drop of 49% came even as overall battery electric car sales rose
Oh,
34.1% annually
oh
in
no.
April in Europe. So in Europe, they're buying the battery electric cars at higher rates. They're just buying Teslas at far lower rates. It's not even
That's
that they're not
that's it
gaining
right
market
there.
share. They are rapidly losing it even as sales of those cars take off in Europe. And so that is very bad news. Now, there's a couple different explanations. One, and I think it's the most compelling, is just Tesla, for a long time, their reputation has been tied to Elon Musk. That benefited them for a bit when he wasn't as explicitly political. Now,
yeah.
every sane person hates his guts, and so they're not
Yep.
big fans of Tesla. The good news for Tesla is cut ties with Elon Musk, and you might be able to save your reputation, something to think about. But they also have issues with their actual lineup. They recently launched an upgraded version of their Model Y, which is one of their best-selling cars here in the US. But their overall lineup of cars is aging, and they don't have a mass market offering that's been unveiled. But again, that's a Musk thing. He's the CEO, but he doesn't care about the job. They basically don't have a leader. Or when they do, it's a guy who says, no, don't put out an affordable EV. Instead, make the Cybertruck. And so his reputation is
The
sinking.
Hey,
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
I see those driving around every once in a while here in the U.S. They are the ugliest cars on the road, and it's not even close. I'd rather see a junker drive down the road than one of those ugly things.
Yo, why? What in the world? Oh, like, I don't know. I'll never understand the thing Cybertruck.
Some people here, like you'll see bumper stickers, like people that have Teslas, and this once again goes with the liberals will probably buying Teslas for the environment type of thing, and they'll have like a bumper sticker on their Tesla that will say, "I bought this before I knew Elon was a freak," or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
funny.
Thinking them, and also his utter mismanagement and lack of understanding about what consumers actually want out of automobile manufacturers is actually hurting them. And he's, by the way, he's not as visible with the Trump administration, but he still said in the most recent Tesla earnings call that he plans to dedicate a day or two per week to government work, which, if I were the board, I'd say,
What?
no, you're not. Your job is to work here. You're not going to tell us you're going to, if you want to do a day or two with the government, make it Saturday and Sunday, buddy. We're paying you to do a job. He's telling them, I'm not going to do the job. So another reason they should probably fire him while they can. And he recently said the only way he'd step down from Tesla is if he were to die, which, first of all, don't
Oh,
threaten
Oh
us with a
boy.
good time. But they need to get rid of him if they want to save their company. And the longer they wait, the harder it's going to be. I know it's tough, but all of the indications economically are that they will benefit massively if they get rid of Elon
For
Musk.
sure.
We'll see if they ever do it. Yaz, what do you think?
Yeah, Elon said a lot of things recently that the data simply does not support. He said plenty of things in an interview recently where the interviewer kept fact checking him. And when that kept happening, he just started bashing the radical left because he doesn't really have anything
course.
else to fall back on. And he acts like a victim. The richest man in the world is acting like a victim. The richest man in the world, you don't become that by not continually making victims of.
Do you know how much money Elon Musk made in 2024, everybody? $180 billion in one single year.
That's as much as entire countries' GDPs.
Yeah, and he made that in one single year, and he has the nerve to go on and complain when he isn't doing his job that he gets way overpaid for already. And he has the nerve to go on and complain. I think somebody gave Elon Musk a little too much power, and his ego has exploded to unrealistic proportions.
He was hiding that ego for too long.
Yeah, my gosh. People thought he was like everyone, I mean, he was always weird, but people thought he was like, they called him Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's a good guy trying to change the world. A good rich guy, but there's no good rich guys, is there?
Nope, there's not.
Millions of other people, right? By usurping resources and taking money from places where you're not supposed to take money from. And Elon Musk, by him getting involved in the government, he's also stolen data from people, data that he should not have ever had access to. So it's no surprise that the people, not just Americans, but also people in Europe, don't like this guy, don't want him any more involved in their country than he really needs to be. Elon Musk is a businessman. I know he likes to cosplay as a tech genius, but he is a businessman. And right now, he's not doing a great job of running his businesses, and his businesses are reflecting that, right? He has tied his brand's entire reputations to his own, right? His own personal brand has become his business's brand. And at a time when he was more popular, that was working for him. But his public image has turned so dramatically. And he keeps saying that it's fine because the people that he lost on the left, the people on the right are going to pick up that slack. But are people on the right really buying his vehicles? Are they buying electric vehicles?
No. People on the right in this country, maybe it's not the same in Europe, because Europe, so, the center in Europe is a lot more, a lot less crazy, I should say. But people here, Republicans here, they think that people talking about transitioning to electric cars is like an attack on them. Like they feel prideful about gas cars.
They're buying bigger trucks that emit more emissions, and they're diesel trucks. I know diesel's big in Europe, but like in the US, diesel is usually only for huge trucks, like huge pickup trucks that someone would buy, like some guy might buy and like barely fits on the road here, even though the roads are still huge.
It's crazy. It's so easy to make people feel a certain way about something like that. Like, who the heck cares if your car runs on gas, other than I've always had a gas truck, so I want to keep my gas truck.
Nice.
It's pretty baffling.
They're so against anything that's clean energy. Why would they
Yeah.
suddenly be interested in Teslas? Also, here in the United States, we're seeing that the Cybertruck, where it was once the best-selling truck, electric truck in the country, really because it was kind of the only one, or the most popular one, they're not anymore. The F-150, the Lightning, I think it's called, is now the best-selling electric truck in the country. And, it's also an American brand. So why wouldn't people want that one more? It's also been proven to be safer, more reliable than the Tesla Cybertruck. And it doesn't look like a giant refrigerator on wheels. It's not like a big hunk of steel that's driving down your roads. So I don't blame people for not liking him. I'm not mad that people don't like him now, because I don't like him. And his businesses, I do feel bad for the people who work for his companies, because even their reputation has fallen several. What was that Axios report just came out, and it has fallen dramatically in the eyes of the people. So I do feel bad for the people who work for him, but at the same time, it's tough because consumers just don't want to support this guy anymore, and you can't blame them for feeling that way.
Elon, I don't know what the heck he was doing.
Yeah, it was interesting you mentioned like tying his self to the brand image so tightly, which, I guess it can work if, you do the one thing that you need to do when your image is so important is just not to say crazy things and get canceled for doing crazy things also. And well,
Not become a literal Nazi.
yeah, literally. It seems like it's not too hard to do, and he somehow did it. Not the best businessman decision there. Two businessmen up high in our government, and they're not very good at it.
I think he was so high on like being in the spotlight too. Like he
Yeah.
could have been like every other billionaire and just done all of this stuff in the shadows.
No, but he has autism. He's socially awkward. He doesn't like the spotlight. That's what they're saying too. That's why like he
yeah.
did the hand gesture thing. It's just because he's awkward and stuff like that.
I don't know what he was thinking. He could have gave his $100 billion in the shadow and in the shadows, and he could have been like, "Hey Trump, these government agencies are poking around in my business. You want to get rid of it?" And Trump would have done it for sure. What was he?
Yeah.
What was he thinking? I just don't understand.
I don't know. His character is very, very interesting. I'm sure there's a lot more we have to learn about Mr. Musk and his
That's why.
businesses.
It's why he'll never be like the leader of the world, like the king of the world, like he wants to be, because he's just his ego gets in the way, I think, too much,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
he's not as smart as he thinks he is either.
He doesn't even have near enough support
No,
for like.
no, he has a bunch of weirdo incel gamers online. That's about it. Asmongold.
Yeah, the Asmongold chain goes directly to Musk.
Yeah. But thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.